We have three presenter schools today. So we're going to ask that each presenter uses about 10 minutes to make your presentation and really just highlight the facts that you want about your school and the items that you need help with. And then we can discuss much further in each one of the breakout groups. The presenters will present in the order that you're on the slide. So Joseph, Glenn, and Bob, you will present last. We will then ask Gretchen to come and talk to us after all three of the presenters. We'll have her come in and talk to us about February and who's presenting then. And Yair has been setting us up in breakout groups, so he'll put us into the breakout groups. So if we could have Joseph present first and share your screen.
Sandra, actually, could you have Tony DeBora present today?
Sure.
He's our executive director. He's going to be speaking, and then he's going to hand off to Dr. Lee, Shungyang Lee, who is our program director. Okay,
sorry. All right, so that's perfect. We are seeing the presentation. We're seeing the slides now. So whenever your group is ready, you can go right ahead.
Great. Thank you, and good afternoon, good morning, everyone. I'm Tony DeBora. I'm the Executive Director of the Johns Hopkins University Information Security Institute. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about the Institute and our research, and then Dr. Shungyang Lee, who is our MSSI Program Director, our Masters of Science in Security Informatics. He'll spend a couple of minutes talking about our MSSI program. The mission of the Institute is to advance the field of information security through excellence in pure and applied research and educational programs. So we're dual-pronged. We have a research mission and an educational mission. We have a number of faculty members. I don't have time to get into all of the research areas, but I'll give some high-level information about some of our research areas. Include security for IoT devices and medical devices, web security, applied cryptography such as program obfuscation, homomorphic encryption, and social aspects of security, critical infrastructure protection, drones, networking. So we cover a wide range of topics. And of course, as most security people do, we like to break things. We do have a responsible disclosure policy for our institute. So whenever we find that there's a vulnerability, we need to disclose it with the manufacturer or the source, and we give them a reasonable amount of time before we disclose it to the public. We also have a number of lecturers in our program, and our educational program is holistic in nature. So you'll see things, not only the typical technical topics, but things like computer ethics and digital rights, legal issues, and moral issues, and policy as well, international and national policy. And I think in the interest of time, I already talked about some of these things. I'll note that one of our applied cryptographers is Matt Green, who is a co-founder of Zcash, by the way, and he also co-authored the Keys Under the Doormats paper a few years ago with several other well-known security people arguing against having backdoors in crypto systems. And you can see some of the other areas and accomplishments of our staff, our faculty. Just an overview of our MSSI program that Dr. Lee will talk about in more detail. It's a 3-semester, full-time, immersive, and transformative program that we have designed to prepare our students for a career in technical leadership. And we're very proud of that. Our institute goes back over 20 years. We were one of the first research institutes in the United States dedicated to information security, and our MSSI program goes back that far as well. 10 courses plus a capstone project. You'll hear more details. And we typically get about 45 to 50 new enrollments per year. And we offer courses not only in our Whiting School of Engineering, but across our business school, School of Public Health, and our School of Medicine as well. And then I have some more details from our faculty. But at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Shengyang Li to give you some more details about our MSSI program. Shengyang?
Thanks, Tony. Let me, if I can, let me find my slides. I have just borrowed some slides from other presentations here. Okay, can everybody see this?
We can see
Yes.
them. You might put it in presentation mode.
Okay, let me try. Does this work?
It works fine.
We
it
see
would
your
be-
presenters mode, so you may want to
Yeah.
click on the upper left area where it says use slideshow. Or yeah,
There you go.
Oh,
Swap.
there you go. Excellent.
Okay, thanks, yeah. So just a few minutes, right, to talk about our program here. So as Tony said, our program is designed in such a way to include coursework, 10 courses, right? Not only on technology, but also policy management, as well as health, right? Because you know, Hopkins. So I will talk about the two study tracks. So they have different kind of emphasis, in the two tracks. So one track is technology and research. The other, relatively new, is policy and management. So you can tell, policy and management will have more significant non-technology course requirement. So we design our program study in such a way to make it flexible enough. So in addition to those courses, the technology, policy, management core and health courses, required. So we also allow students to take two additional courses. So let me show the. So I will talk about the research, but actually let me show the two study tracks first, right? So you can see on the left, the technology and the research track, students are required to take 5 technology courses, 4 to be core technology course category. One of them must be crypto. So we are offering actually, I think that five different crypto courses. With theoretical flavor as well as practical, applications. So on different levels. So the introductory, I teach this introductory level crypto course. Then we have intermediate level 2 courses. One is called modern crypto. The other is called practical crypto systems. And then we have 2 advanced topics suitable for our targeting PD students and those students who are really interested in crypto. 3 policy health management core courses. The student must take 1 from core policy, 1 from core management. The third can be from any of the 3 categories. The 2 additional courses, for example, nowadays, students like to take AI, machine learning, data analytics, those courses. The capstone project, as Tony mentioned, this is a significant research requirement. This is team-based. Up to 3 students can work together, advised by 1 ISI faculty mentor. If you look at the policy and management track, you can see the kind of the combination, right, has changed a little bit. So students now are required to take more non-technology courses, 5 from 4 different categories: the core policy, core health, core management courses, as well as 1 foundational category. Very quickly, so we have I've last time I count over 20 now technology courses. So you can take a look at the titles. They include those generic kind of cybersecurity topics such as crypto, the introduction to information security, the introductory level courses, as well as advanced topic courses, right? Network security, forensics, and malware forensics. So that is new course we are offering this coming spring. And also you can see some very very current topics, such as the language-based security. That is one research, very hard research front in cybersecurity. The core policy courses, not all the courses are taught by us. Some courses are offered by other academic units. Some of them actually are online courses. So our students have the flexibility to choose just based on their interest. So another slide on foundational management and core health courses. For example, the core health courses actually are offered by our School of Medicine and School of Public Health. So very quickly, this is kind of the one example about the courses, how students go through our program study. So this is for 3 semesters. In the last semester, you can see most of the students, they finish the capstone in their last semester of study. Oh, sorry. What is it? This slide is kind of old slide, right? But it's about it's kind of typical. You can see in the 4th semester, because most of the students, they graduate in the 4th semester, so they are finishing their capstone research, usually from 10 to 15 projects. This is for 2020. So we have researchers from APL, from American University, from companies to work with our students. And let me see if I can, right? This will be the last slide. So this is again from 2020. So you can tell the students, they like the latest kind of stuff, latest problems, applications they can work on. Tony, I think that's my segment.
Thanks, Xiangyang. Yeah, I just want to add that some of these capstone projects lead to published works in conferences and journals, and even media attention. So we're very, very proud of our capstone project and the experience it gives to the students. Thank you all. I don't know if there's time for questions.
Later on in the breakout sessions, when we get breakout sessions.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, is Glenn on here? No, okay, so let's see, was someone about to say something?
Sorry, Sandra, I was gonna say I emailed him, but I haven't heard back.
Right.
Okay,
Let's move
All
to
right.
Bob.
yeah, we'll go to Bob. Just in time again, right, Bob?
Yeah, just in time. Okay, thank you. Let me share my screen here. In presentation mode. Can everybody see that?
Bob, it's not in presentation mode. There you go.
There you go. It is.
Great. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. It's indeed a pleasure for me to get to tell you something about our program, our college, and our university. We're Anderson College of Business and Computing from Regis University. Basically, Regis University has 3 colleges. It has the Anderson College of Business and Computing. It has Regis College, and it has Ruckman Hartman College for Health Professionals. So the program of study that we have here going on at Regis is with Anderson College of Business and Computing. My name is Robert Bowles, or better known as Bob. I am the director for the Center of Information Assurance Studies here at Regis, and our program director for our cybersecurity programs is Christopher Garcia. And so between he and I, basically, we're the main points of contacts at Regis University for cybersecurity. Our department is the Computer and Cyber Sciences Department, and that is chaired by Dr. Richard Blumenthal. So located here in Denver. We are a CAE. As a matter of fact, we just got our redesignation this morning, so we're very excited about that. But we've been a CAE since 2007, and we were the first in Colorado to receive that designation. So we're really appreciative of that. And then I just put this snapshot in here to give you an idea of how Regis University, the main campus is, the setting. If you look to the east, you'll see the Denver skyline over there. And then if you look to the west, you see the beautiful Front Range of the Rocky Mountains. So we're located in a very beautiful area of Denver, I should say. Okay, our current validated program of study is a Master of Science in Information and Cybersecurity. I've got the link here where we can go to that. Well, let me see if I can get to that, and hopefully you'll be able to see it. Please let me know if it still shares.
Bob, you'll have to reshare probably because it's only sharing your presentation.
Okay, let me get to it and I'll reshare. Okay, can everybody see that?
Yep.
This is basically information about our cybersecurity programs. I'll just address these real quick. You can see some of the degree plans. Basically, we have a Master of Science of Information and Cybersecurity. That's the program of study and the program of validation, and that we have our CAE in. We have also a Master of Science in Policy Management. However, that's what we have on what we call hold right now, because we're sunsetting that, or thinking about sunsetting that master's degree. And then we have 2 certificates that we offer. We have a certificate in cybersecurity and a brand new certificate that we just have released, and that's called Cybersecurity Essentials. I'll talk to that just a bit more as we go through the presentation, or give you a brief overview on that. We're very excited about this one. And you can see some of the classes that are offered in this degree program. So let me stop the share and get back to the presentation. Okay, everybody seen my presentation now? Okay, thank you. Our primary focus, based on the NICE cybersecurity workforce, is operate and maintain, oversee and govern, protect and defend. We are a CD specialization, and investigate. Our subject matter expertise that we feel we have at our university is cyber operations, day-to-day type cyber operations, risk management, forensics, access controls, systems architecture, cyber defense analysis, cyber defense infrastructure support, incident response, and vulnerability management and assessment. I spent 32 years with the Department of Defense, so I'm very familiar with vulnerability management and assessments. That was kind of our bread and butter back in those days. Okay, what may be your next POS? Well, we just received our CAE redesignation this morning for our MSICS degree, so our program. So right now there are no other programs of study that are on the table that we're considering at this time. Not saying that we won't, but not any additional ones at this time. As far as our research projects, we have a lot of research going on at Regis and Anderson, but I wanted to point out the 2 doctors that do primarily cybersecurity research, and that is Dr. Jeffrey Hemis, and his research interests are cybersecurity, the Internet of Things, I gotta move my picture around here so I can see. Security, informal methods and software engineering. You can see some of his publications that he has, and his postings are the Air Force Office of Scientific Research, Summer Faculty Fellowship for the United States Air Force Academy, Center of Cyberspace Research, Colorado Springs, Colorado. And you can see he has postings there for 2018, 19, 20, 21, and then also there's going to be one here for 2022. Our other primary researcher in cybersecurity is Dr. Stephen Kirkman. His research interests that he's working on are blockchain, cybersecurity, SCADA systems, and industrial control system security. You can see his publications there in Cyclops, and his postings are Air Force Research Lab Summer Facility Fellowship at the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs. And his proposal is an attack of vulnerability on SCADA systems and protocols to ransomware attacks and potential blockchain solutions. So we're proud of the research that these gentlemen are doing. Helps us overall in our program as well in developing new curriculum. Okay, I'd like to just share this because this was one of the reasons I attended Regis as a young man. When I was looking at universities to go to get my master's degree, I wanted something not necessarily the cheapest route, so to speak, but I wanted something that would bring me real value, because at that time I was a high school dropout and I was so poor I couldn't pay attention. So I needed a path in the future. So Regis was the solution for me. And the reason why I chose Regis was just for this bullet number 1. We bring real world experience into the classroom to enhance students' learning experience. What attracted me to Regis was that I knew when I went into the classroom that night, because I was working full-time and then going to school at night. What brought me to Regis was I knew that instructor that was standing in front of me that night, he or she was bringing the experience that they had on the job that day into the classroom to enhance the academic learning experience. And that proved to be invaluable. And we still do that today. All of our professors or instructors in our program of study are either former chief security officers or senior level directors in their companies. I was a CISO with the Department of Interior for 3 years. I was also what we call an information assurance manager, which was basically a CISO for U.S. Army Space and Missile Defense Command for 17 years. And I also served as their chief information officer there. So again, that we pride ourselves in that is that when our students come into our program, not only do they get the academic side, but they get the real world side. And again, our subject matter experts, as we put on the other side, are as listed there. Okay, the grants that we're working on, we're working on 2 primary grants right now. We're working with Seattle City University on cybersecurity education community, better known as the CHI contract. Walt Schumeister is one of our professors at the university. He is the recruiter for that program. I am the mentor for that program. Currently, right now, we are mentoring 9 Colorado teachers, high school teachers, so that they can teach cybersecurity in the high schools. And that's one of the things that we are very passionate about, is developing a pathway for the underutilized, for those that do not have an opportunity that some other students would have, and to try to develop a pathway right on in through the college and into the master's program. The second grant is, as you can see, is the 2021-4-4, the CAE Regional Hubs collaboration with State's Department of Education. Walt Schumeister is again helping City University in that endeavor. And what we're doing is trying to make agreements with local community colleges, other universities, and the Department of Education in Colorado, again, to develop pathways to help these students have a career future, so to speak, in cybersecurity. And when it's asked what other grants would we like to collaborate on, any of them. We are happy to collaborate with any CAE institution for the common good of those underutilized and those less fortunate, to create an opportunity to provide a quality education and a good quality of life. Let me tell you, folks, I've lived this. When I got out in the military, I met the 4 bears: bare walls, bare cupboard, bare butt, bare table. Had no future. And I tell you, I know what it's like to be standing there, not knowing what you're going to do. Other words than just maybe common labor jobs, which don't pay nothing and you just wear yourself out. So when I joined Regis, they got me focused, and I can tell you, I have reached areas that I never thought I would. And I give all the credit to the good Lord and to Regis University for that. A couple of things I'd like to express about, that we're partnering with. We're very proud of this, the Rocky Mountain Collegiate Cyber Defense Competition. I'm the regional director for that competition, and this is our 13th consecutive year of hosting it. The last 2 years we have been virtual, but this year we're hosting it back on site in Denver. And this is a 4-state region of Utah, Kansas, Colorado, and Nebraska, where these teams come in and they compete. Our virtual competition, or the qualifying competition, will be on 11th February, and the teams will square off against each other. The top 8 teams will advance to the regional, which is what we call the RMCCDC, or the Rocky Mountain Collegiate Cyber Defense Competition. And then the winner of that competition will go on to the nationals to represent the Rocky Mountain region in that competition. We work with Gretchen and her team and others in the Women of Cybersecurity conferences. We serve on the planning committee. We're a silver sponsor, and we provide logistical support. And we're very proud of that, to be trying to help women exceed in their careers as cybersecurity professionals. And then, as I mentioned before, the other 2 Seattle City University contracts that we're working on. What changes or enhancements or gaps do we have in our program? Well, one of the things we want to do is partner with local and global businesses. And one of the things we are pursuing is, and this is the big idea behind this, is so that when a student comes into our program, whether at the undergraduate or graduate level, we would automatically team them with a local business. So that way they could get the experiential learning right as they're getting their degree. And hopefully that would land them a good career with that company, particularly if they pair off with them and work with them doing small projects, internships, or any kind of special projects that that we always have on our plate, but we don't have the staff to do. We think this would be a great opportunity for our students to get real world experience. Naturally, like everybody else, probably our student enrollments are down. So we're trying to find ways to increase our student enrollments. However, we just hired a new director for admissions. He shared with us some of his ideas today. He's got a global view perspective, especially on the international student fronts. So I think very encouraged that we're going to see our numbers increasing. And we always are looking for more research grant opportunities. Here's some new initiatives. I'll just let you read those, but these are what we want to do. And I put this up here because I thought maybe some of you in your universities may want to do something like this if you're not doing it already. But the one thing that we're really proud of, and we're seeing a lot of activity around this, is our Cybersecurity Essential Certificate. Trying to see and meet the needs of industry, and I could be wrong on this because I don't have enough data on it to support it, but at least from my point of view, or what I call Bobology, it appears that the landscape is changing to some degree, and a lot of students, or a certain amount of the population, are not going the traditional educational route. I'm seeing that some students, basically, they get out of high school, they're going down, they're getting a couple of certificates, either penetration testing, or those type of cybersecurity essentials. Cybersecurity credentials. They go down to a potential employer and they say, look, I've got the wherewithal to do this. I need a job. And a lot of the employers are liking this because they bring them into their organization. And then hopefully what Regis's goal is, as I'm sure your goals would be as well, would be so that once they get established, or once they get hired by a particular company, they would send them back to the respective university, in our case, Regis, to continue on with their formal education. So we come up with this idea about the Cybersecurity Essentials, and this is basically 4 classes that consist of IT concepts, advancing the cybersecurity, computer forensics, and risk management. And what we felt through these 4 classes, it gives the student a good overview of what cybersecurity is all about. It also gives them an opportunity to test the water, so to speak, to see if cybersecurity is a good fit for them. And so, you know, we have a lot of certificates that are for career enhancements, but we found that there wasn't really any certificates out there for career changers. So the beauty of this is a person can come to us, a student can come to us that has been displaced. Now, this is in our master's level, that has been displaced either through COVID or else they've been displaced in their position because, you know, businesses shutting down and because of the economy. And they're looking for a career change. Many of them are first responders. They've been burned out over the last 2.5 years because of everything going on with COVID. So this gives them an opportunity to have no experience whatsoever in IT or cybersecurity, but at least they can come in, take these 4 classes, get the certificate, which we believe will at least qualify them for at least a level 2 SOC analyst in the company, or many of the other 65 cybersecurity positions. So we're really excited about that. And then again, we want to be doing some quarterly seminars on some specific cybersecurity topics. We want to start a year-long cybersecurity awareness campaign that will start this month, consisting of cybersecurity awareness announcements and news publications in our Regis newspaper, and provide current cybersecurity tips for our community. We also are wanting to present or have a cybersecurity monthly happy hour that will be hosted by my center and provides a guest speaker each month. And there will be a virtual happy hour that with a guest speaker, and this will include all of Regis students and anyone else in the local community across the board to come and listen in. We want to also establish some Center of Information Assurance Studies Lunch and Learn. And that would be a quarterly in-person lunch on campus where faculty and students would meet once a quarter, say like on a Friday afternoon, and to serve as the reflective work group. We also want to have like a quarterly online cybersecurity quiz, just for fun. And that will be posted on our CAEs website, and have the winners get a virtual badge for them to display on their signature line. And then we want to always provide a monthly cybersecurity danger story. And this will be some memorial act that has happened to somebody to let them know that cybersecurity is a real risk. It's real, it exists, and people get hurt by it every day. And then finally, a family and common good cybersecurity planning. That would be where we would be having teaching employees and their kids how to keep their seniors and their children safe online and on social media to protect their privacy. Employees, we have found, appreciate when we care about their personal family cybersecurity and safety just as much as we do their professional cybersecurity and safety. So I think that's it for me. I thank you all for your time. I hope you found this information helpful.
Great job, Bob.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, if you can stop the share, Bob.
I did. Is it?
Okay, all right, sorry, here we go.
Yeah, a little delay.
Yeah. Gretchen, you're muted.
Sorry, thank you so much. We are very excited to have all the learning, and thank you to the 2 people that emailed me during this so that I could get you signed up for September. So September's now full. We're moving into October. So thank you so much for that. Next month, we have got Dr. Mitchell from Lansing Community College coming. We have Dr. Mierswa coming from Keene University, and we have Dr. Bannock coming. Oh, I didn't put his university in there, did I? I have it on my chart. Let me look it up. Sorry about that. He is from the Citadel. So we're going to have 3 great presentations. Again, if you would like to sign up, please email me. And we are going to now, Yair, over to you to go into the breakout rooms.
Excellent. Thank you. I just want to remind everyone to check our regularly our community of practice page. I'm going to share it in the chat area. And with that said, I'm going to stop the recording and move to activate the breakout session. Please, the presenters join the breakout session that is under your name. And the rest, you can freely move between those breakout rooms.